Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Nashville area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
or,
Yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
or it may be even subtler, like,
Speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
In uncertain times, you can be certain of this. The Salvation Army is serving those most in need with help and hope. Thanks to your donations, the Salvation Army is helping those affected by COVID-19, those who've lost wages, who have no home to retreat to, who need food, help with utilities, and most of all, hope. To see how you can continue to make a difference, visit GiveWestwood.org. GiveWestwood.org.
Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we?
Join the afternoon stretch now at 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
4 o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. I hope everybody is having a terrific Monday. It's 63 degrees and sunny outside. Feels good on this February 6th. And it's time for the afternoon stretch. 615-844-5600. If you want to jump in, we want to talk to you. Here till 6 o'clock today. A lot happening in the world of sports. We have a full 2-hour post-Pro Bowl breakdown to get into. Full 2 hours of Pro Bowl flag football talk today, Bruno.
Oh, no, I didn't watch it.
I'm like, who cares? People were excited for it, I guess. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of people have opinions on it, which I guess is good. If they just change the format every 3 years, we're all going to end up talking about it. So, hey, I can't state this enough. I really don't care. Derek Carr was on the Pro Bowl this year. He didn't deserve to be there.
Say, what a fun flag football game. No, that didn't happen.
No.
Nope. That just, the game went on. I honestly.
Well, Devlin texted me. He said he loved the Pro Bowl.
Devlin loved the Pro Bowl. Did you have a good time at the Pro Bowl?
What?
You were texting. I remember that. You were texting the group chat saying how great you thought the
He
flag
said the
football.
format of the Pro Bowl reminds me of my playing days.
You said Trevon Diggs pulls a flag better than anybody you've ever seen.
Yes, I couldn't agree with myself more.
Devlin, you ever thought about doing something intramural?
No.
Like club?
No.
Like you not going to the YMCA, signing up for a team?
Only thing that I would do, like active-wise, is some cornhole. Pretty decent at cornhole.
You got to have the beer
You're
in the
really
left hand
against like
to
physical
balance.
activity.
Don't do it. Yeah, I just don't.
Which is crazy because you're like by far the lightest guy on the show.
Yeah, I just don't.
Well,
do anything
look,
ever.
I got to say this, Devlin. You are lighter than everybody on this show. It didn't take much.
I said by far.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. It's just like you're good.
But I work out like it feels like way too much.
Yeah.
And I'm still this big, you know?
Yeah.
I'm the most out of shape on the show.
You don't think you can run 140-yard sprints?
No.
Oh.
God, no.
Is it 140 yards or is it 140 yards?
100 reps of 40-yard
Okay,
sprints.
that's what I was trying to figure out.
I could do one rep of that.
One sprint, one
You'd be
good
surprised.
sprint. Give it all you had. How
Yeah.
fast could your 40 be right now? Like legitimately, what do you think your 40 is
What-
right now?
what-
Do I have cleats or no?
What does it
What's
matter?
the fastest possible 40 you could run?
Yeah, I mean, you're wearing like you shaved all the night before. You're aerodynamic. Got baby oil on.
You got a
tie.
Manscaped thing.
Yeah.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.9.
Oh, wait, that's a real. Are you being real right now?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I would love to. We should do. I wish we could get Greg Pogue to run a 40. That'd be awesome.
He could run it, and it'd be a couple days, but he'd get it done. I bet
He'd run a forever. Yeah.
That's some running humor for everybody out there on this Monday. Like we should do a WNSR Olympics. You know?
Oh my God.
Or the WNSR Combine.
I wish. Yeah.
Get some of the listeners on there. Yeah, we'll bring in Mike and Melrose. Let him hit how many reps of 225 can he put up? just get everybody involved with it. We could probably do it a strike and spare. Get Philip Cox out there. He can do the 3-cone shuttle.
I was throwing around 250 last week. It felt good.
Yeah.
Just bang, bang, bang.
How many did you get?
Of 225?
Yeah.
My highest training was 26, and that pro day I got 23.
What was it Larry Allen got that one time?
49?
It was like something crazy.
It was 49. He got to the 49th one, I think, and then just it looked like he was still not trying. He was just like, nope.
I saw there was
hey, that guy was a tank.
No, he was way different than everyone else. You know what I mean? Like it's not fair to show highlights of him and what he was doing compared to like athletes today.
He looked like he was like 380 though. Like he looked
huge.
insanely
No, he was
massive.
huge. But I saw a video over the weekend. Somebody spliced together like what Pro Bowls were in 2006 compared to what Pro Bowls are today, and it showed Larry Allen just banging out all the 225s in Honolulu, and then it cut to like them having a water balloon fight. And I was like, oh man, that's a tough scene right now. How do you argue against that at all with what the Pro Bowl was? I get it. I'm glad they're not like, at least the flag football takes it away from being like a serious football match. You know what I mean? Like that whole idea of they're padding up and they're going out there.
Let's tell that to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, man, he hit Tyreek Hill, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is more dangerous."
There's nothing that makes these morons happy.
No, there is not.
Hey, can we stop talking about the Pro Bowl? I'm actually sick of it. It's making me violently angry. Who cares?
Way too angry on a Monday.
Yeah, it's bad vibes.
All right, then let's go away from talking about the Pro Bowl and talk about how Tom Brady looks so good right now. Did we see the Instagram post? That guy is hot.
And that's the thing. I wonder what my peak physique would look like. Because if I could be – hey, if you're a dude and you saw that Tom Brady picture and you're like, oh, if you look like Tom Brady, you should post like that. You should make
guys, I would be unbearable. I want you to understand something. I would be unbearable if I looked half like Tom Brady.
I would have done the arm up.
My legs are spread. I'm wearing the tightest clothes you could ever find in your life. I would be unbearable, okay?
I'm doing the arm up easily, you know? And I'm a dude, but I shave my armpits 100%.
I'm shaving everything. I'm posting everything. Yes, no. If I looked like that, let alone, if I looked like that at 29, let alone, what is he, 49? He's 400 years old. He's so old.
We're getting into bro talk right now, essentially. It's sports related, so it's fun. But a lot of people were in the comments of that. They're like, she's not coming back, bro. That is not to get back your girl.
Giselle, no, that is not. He's not like, I'm going to show you what you're missing.
I guarantee you. Listen, when I've had like 2 moments where like I popped off on social media, like to an extent, like 3,000 notifications on Instagram before that jiu-jitsu contest. Mm-hmm. If I get DMs from attractive women, if Bruno Reagan, if that happens to me,
pigs can fly.
Tom Brady's getting 1,000 easy.
Oh, 1,000
easy. 1,000 of the hottest women you would ever imagine. So yeah, I don't blame him.
Tom Brady's getting so many married women.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
Too. Yes.
It's wrong, but he's getting them. It's just that guy looks so good. You got to give it to him. Now also it's like post football body, so he's down all the way.
Give it a year.
Yeah. He reportedly 2024 is going to be his year, but he goes into Fox.
Yes.
So I guess
he's taking a year off.
Yeah, he's going to take a year off, which is smart.
His explanation was like, I want to learn the thing. We'll see what he does. Yeah.
I mean, no, it's smart. I think it's good. There needs to be a buffer. There needs to be a buffer for these, athletes. Tom Brady, obviously one of the greatest in the game, but don't just throw him in the booth. I feel like Monday Night Football learned that from Jason Witten. You throw Jason Witten into Monday Night Football, that guy was shaking like a leaf. He was so clearly scared, which don't blame him. Devlin, you know how many people watch Monday Night Football?
No.
A lot. Now picture a lot of those people, and and they say, all right, we're going live. And now you have 45 million people. Not that much, but still, you have a lot of people watching you, and you've never spoke on air before. You've never done it. You've only done interviews. You've never actually been on a microphone, and then you're on something that is established as Monday Night Football.
I've watched people quiver doing high school football shows. So.
Oh, man. Yes. Yes. You have to – it takes a little bit. That's why they make these broadcast boot camps and stuff. I feel like players think, all right, I can just jump right in and we'll go. No, there's a learning curve to all of this stuff. Just because you're great at the thing does not mean you're great at talking about the thing. Tom Brady's going to do a good job, but you got to take a little time. I think it's honestly kind of arrogant because I'm not saying like I'm just some guy who can walk on and do all this stuff. I'm not that, but I've taken time to learn how to do this, and I still have miles of learning. I still have so far to go in learning on this business. But like to watch like these people that just play the game, they just jump on the mic and they're like, I got it. It's like, no, you don't, bro. Not until you sit there and get in it. There's so many people. I can do. I can't tell you how many times because I hate going to like a bar or something like that, and then somebody just finds out what I do, and they're like, "Oh, you talk radio, man? I can do that. This stuff's fun." Yeah, you can't. You can't. It's tough. I know people that can't even call into the show. They tell me they're like, "I can't call. I want to call in."
Who was your mentor? Because I've kind of adapted your style too. So in a way, in jiu-jitsu,
I've had a couple different ones.
In jiu-jitsu and judo, we call it your lineage, which is where like your black belts devolve. Everyone devolves from Jigoro Kano, who invented judo, who then taught Miuta Mayorta, who invented Brazilian jiu-jitsu with the Gracies, and then it goes down the line. So you can track back your instructors all the way to the origin. So that's something media people, because it's no secret. Darren is like a George Plaster, like kind of era guy. Willie Donick, he's a George Plaster era. So I just wonder how far the rabbit hole goes.
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
You should take that page from judo and jiu-jitsu because it is interesting looking back at all your instructors.
I think there's a little bit of just taking it from everywhere. Like Tom Brady, Tom Brady, what's he going to do? He's going to talk to Jim Nantz. He's going to talk to, all these big names. He's going to talk to Joe Buck probably.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker, yeah.
Joe Rogan.
No, for sure. Probably that one for sure.
That one will probably happen, yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna talk to all these guys and go, okay, this is how do I learn this? How do I do this? So taking a year is smart.
Tom, how do you look so good at your age? Well, Joe, I take the vaccine every 2 weeks and it keeps me young. I mean, just comes up. There's no way you work for Fox and say that, but
oh man, yeah. Fox sold out all their Super Bowl ads, by the way, so they could pay for your USFL.
They sold. Devlin, how much do you think a 30-second ad is?
30-second ad in the Super Bowl. $1
$50 million.
Okay, well, I mean, you just shoot the moon, I guess.
It's not bad. It's $7. It's still a lot of money.
$7 million. Still a lot.
Now you guys feel dumb because I overshot.
I mean, we got to make it so small. Devlin's millions of dollars he has just raking in, like, golly. $50 million. There's nothing worse than ruining a story. Just assume anytime someone asks you that.
That's just like the guy at a friend group or a bar who like steals your punchline from you.
Yes.
Nothing worse than those people.
Just bit killing right there. That's all that was. Devlin knew what he was doing.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend, Devlin? Yeah, you had your girl in town.
Yeah. Had a great time.
Yeah.
What's that like? I don't know.
Yeah, Bruno does not know.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, Nashville though too.
Oh yeah, no.
If you went alone, it's expensive.
It's strictly because it's Nashville.
What are you sad about? $14 bottles of beer?
A little bit, yeah.
Like that doesn't happen every day downtown Nashville. Yeah, where'd y'all end up going? You went to FGL?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, how's that bar still open? I thought they broke up.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, the band.
I love that bar though.
The band broke up.
Yeah.
I guess they just keep.
I guarantee FGL is like they somehow worked out the rights, but the guy who owns the bar is probably nowhere like. Even
I think
connected.
they own it. That's the whole thing. All these country stars started buying their own bar to
Did they buy it,
Nashville.
or did their agency buy it?
Well, that's a bigger story.
Timberlake's got one too.
Yeah. It's like a big musicians buy all of them just to help preserve downtown Nashville or something like that.
And charge people $30.
You come to Clarksville and hang out with me. There you go.
Yeah, I get free drinks out there.
We'll go to the one bar down there.
They like pay you to come here. Please
Yeah.
take our drink.
Please hang out with us.
Is that a problem? People hate Clarksville.
Drink your well water up there.
Hey, we got some good beer in Clarksville. Straight up, we got some good reds. We got some good tans. You got to come try it.
Don't drink.
Oh yeah, well that's
all. I mean, I think that's the only thing I'd want to do. About
I hate drinking. I think drinking is like pretty. Well, the process, what drinking does to you is awesome. I hate the taste of beer and liquor. At least liquor gets it, to your endpoint faster. So I usually opt for that. But they got good beer in Clarksville, straight up. That's not a fact. Or that's not.
No, I don't think it is. I think you're right on that one. I think you're right on that one. A lot of things happened over the weekend. Obviously, the Kyrie trade news. When y'all first read that, I think I was on the golf course. Y'all were texting me. And I looked down. I just see Devlin. My favorite's Devlin, just one word texting Kyrie. Or no, what'd you say? Mavs. That's all you said. Yeah. I
just saw that tweet when he sent that. I went, and I looked down and Devlin texted us.
Mavs. That's all it said was Mavs. And I was like, well, what's that mean? I like went to check a score or something. Didn't even think about it. And then all of a sudden I see, I mean, everybody seems like they are wildly shocked by Kyrie going to Dallas.
Well,
I mean, I said it on Friday. I didn't think that was going to happen at all.
Devlin suggested Mavs were a potential landing point, right? Well,
insider.
Kyrie is this interesting case because it's like, it's the devil, right? We know he has this like flimsiness to what makes him go. He obviously loves basketball and he's obviously very talented about it. But there's always something that holds him back. What was the most recent thing? Sadly, it was the political stances. It wasn't even the stances. It was the silly video he retweeted that got him a lot of heat. Then before that, it was the vaccine. And then before that, something in Boston. Like, we just don't know what makes this guy go. Like, what's his goal now? Some people's goal when they play isn't a championship, frankly. It's to maybe get a title and something else, like a scoring title or MVP. Aaron Rodgers comes out, and he's like, I think I could get an MVP. And Gronk's like, why not talk a Super Bowl? Because people's goals are different. We just don't know what Kyrie wants. I guarantee you Luka wants an NBA championship.
Oh, 100%.
But is Kyrie going to be committed to that? I don't know. Is it even the best fit? Because you see Kyrie getting on your team, and you're like, this has to be a good thing. You know who thought that? Brooklyn. You know who thought that? Boston. So, I don't know.
What'd you think about it, Devlin?
Kyrie to the Mavs?
Yeah.
I mean, like any other team, yeah, it could be either amazing for them or it could be just catastrophic. I mean, this team could either go down in a ball of flames or it could shoot straight up the ladder and go to the number one team in the West because the West is completely wide open. And if Kyrie and Luka can feed off of each other and play well together, that's the best team in the West.
Yeah.
Because Memphis right now is second, and Memphis stinks. Sorry.
I want to – don't answer it now. If callers want to jump in, we'll talk about it on the other side. 615-844-5600. Who is better? Who would you rather have on your team right now? Kyrie Irving, Ja Morant. Call in. 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. Later on in the show, in the 5 o'clock hour at 5:25, we're going to have Josh Bowe. He covers the Mavs. We're going to talk about it from the Mavs side because it brings a lot of baggage. It brings a lot of baggage coming in with Kyrie Irving.
If you're covering Dallas, your entire workload just went through the roof.
JR said it best. Business is about to pick up. That is what's about to happen right now, all right? If you want to jump in, though, 615-844-5600.
Good afternoon. I'm looking at a serious wreck in Rutherford County. It's 24 eastbound near 840. It looks like it's going to be out here for a bit. Again, so expect delays here in this section of Rutherford County on 24 eastbound right at 840. It's been busy out here already on 24, just trying to get out through here. Had that earlier crash westbound 24 over there right near Briley Parkway between Harding Place and Briley. That's starting to look a little bit better. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. Give them a call at Nash Painting at 615 area code 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers. Howdy, folks. I'm back to remind you about the best steakhouse in Music City, Bob's Steak and Chop House. The only place in Middle Tennessee to get A5 Wagyu steaks cooked to perfection. And when that special day rolls around to treat that special someone, make your reservation now at Bob's Steak and Chop House. From petite fillets to massive tomahawk ribeyes. When somebody asks where's the beef, you tell them Bob's Steak and Chop House. Make your Valentine's Day reservations now and treat the best in your life with the best in Nashville. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
The Jim Rome Show.
I get a lot of vacation. I understand that. However, I don't take a lot of sick days. These things are not one and the same. That was not like I worked 8 straight days or I worked Super Bowl Sunday. I think I'll give myself a day off. I earned it. Hey, and by the way, I could because I have those days. I pride myself in not taking sick days. I hate that. We usually grind through it. But honestly, it was the right thing. In that case, it was the right thing.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville's Sports Radio.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Sky Scan forecast for this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 62. Cloudy skies tonight, an overnight low of 45 with a southeast wind at 25 miles per hour. Utilizing the resources of the Weather Bug Network.
That makes the average person
Sports
say,
Radio
hey,
on
I can do that.
WNSR's
The afternoon stretch.
Sports Radio WNSR.
The afternoon stretch. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams. Before we went into the break last segment, I posed a question. I posed it on Twitter as well if anybody wants to join in on the conversation there on our live Twitter feed, Nashville Sports Radio. Who would you rather have? Kyrie Irving, Ja Morant? Because we're going to see this matchup. I have a feeling, looking into my crystal ball, looking into the future of the NBA, this is going to come to a head. I don't know if it's going to be conference finals. I don't know where it's going to be, but this matchup right here is going to come to a head. You can't tell me that Ja Morant didn't have the back of his neck hairs just start rising up when he heard Kyrie Irving was showing up in Dallas to challenge for the West.
Well, it should be rising up because they're frankly just the team. It's not the end of the world. Relax. But do elite teams have stretches like this? I don't watch enough basketball to know. Did Golden State ever have a run like this?
For sure. Good teams can have bad stretches. That does happen.
This one just seems to be really, really bad. Like absurdly so.
It's so bad that they're only 4.5 games back from first place.
Yes, I know, which is insane. Which is, I think, next time we'll talk to Eric Castletine, I'll ask him. But I think this is the best the Grizzlies have ever been still in this stage of the season, right? When they were making their runs a year ago, 2 years ago, they actually had even slower starts. Mm-hmm. So this is, they're still improving as a team year to year to year, even at this point in the season.
So they are what, 1-9 out of the last 10 currently.
Other that are 2-8, but yeah, it's
something like
terrible.
that. Yeah, depending on where you start the math. And they're still sitting 32-21.
Which that would be what, 6th, 7th place if they were in the East?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, look, for some weird warped reality that I don't know when it happened. I really don't know when it happened. The West, you just saw all these people. I mean, you had Golden State just destroying.
It's like the myth of the Democrats or Republicans like switching policy like in the 90s. They're like, there was a flip one time.
I mean, something, you blinked your eyes, and then all of a sudden, I mean, LeBron in the West, and the West goes down. And LeBron's a part of that, by the way. They're also
very much.
Did you see him tweet? It was like, maybe it's me or something like that.
I did see that.
I don't know if it's a real tweet. I did see it though. I'm like worried that it's not real. It was a real tweet, right? Yeah. But I don't know when it happened. But yes, the East is much better. But I would make the argument that the better talent is still in the West. It doesn't represent on the schedule or whatever you want to say, the standings. But I would say the better talent's in the West.
Yeah. You could say the better talent is in the West, but the better teams are in the East. I mean, obviously that goes without saying, but I mean, LeBron, Luka, all those guys that are in the West are obviously better players than, I'm using the Celtics as an example, but Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But they're a better team, and they play better.
Yeah.
And they will destroy them in the playoffs.
Not biased at all on that one, are you?
No, not at all.
So let's go around the room. What are y'all's picks? Let's start with you, Bruno. Would you have John Morant or Kyrie Irving?
So this is an open-ended question, so I'm going to interpret it myself. If I'm on
I could give you some stats if you wanted.
Tell me afterwards, because
Okay.
my decision would be John Morant all the same.
It's right now, and I don't want you to take this as like what's the future of the team. I'm
that's
talking
what
about this season.
that's why I'm answering it in a dynasty perspective.
Yeah.
I would still pick John Morant because I'm a big talent guy. Like I am what I hate. The reason I didn't make it into the NFL was because I didn't have a lot of upside talent wise, and I get it. And I would make, if I was the Colts, I'd probably make the same decision on me over like the Javon Patterson who they signed over me because he was a much more talented guy. He had injury problems. I would take John Morant too, and he's still day-to-day on his own injuries, but that's a young electric talent that seems like he's priming for his own Giannis Antetokounmpo season, right? Where he just wills it to happen. That's what John Morant feels like. It feels like a ticking time bomb where you're going to get one. Kyrie's already had his, and it's been proven that he can't do it alone, right? So if I'm just picking one or the other, I'm taking John Morant every time.
Devlin?
Yeah, I'd probably pick John Morant. I think there's more talent with Kyrie personally, and this might be a hot take, but I don't think John Morant gets to the level that Luka and Giannis and those top guys are at. I think John Morant is a fantastic player. I just don't think he's that good. But would I rather build a team around John Morant? Yeah, he's younger. I don't think he'll quit on the organization the moment they're doing bad. And I think that's a huge upside for John Morant rather than Kyrie Irving. I don't trust Kyrie Irving to sit on a team for longer than a year at this point.
But Ja also has that young ignorance to him where he's still trying to prove himself. He's one of the most explosive players in the league. And you got a good point. He might not even be the most talented. He's the most explosive, but what does that translate to wise, on the sheets and the analytics? Probably not even that much. It's just exciting to watch.
Well, if you look at the season stats breakdown in like the percentile of throughout the season per player, number 11th in points per game is Kyrie Irving. Fits his number. The number 10, it's John Morant. They're pretty neck and neck. Outside of the assist category, they are a very close comparison. If you just took the name away and looked at the stats, they are almost identical across the board in what they're going to be doing and what they bring to a team. Now, with that being said, whose situation would you rather be in to win a championship this year?
I gotta go with Dallas because Luka is a monster, a freak. That guy is insane. Him and Joker are, they break all the stereotypes where they could probably play quarterback in the National Football League. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You think the face of the NBA would be these two guys? Get out of here. I don't know. He's a freak of nature. That guy is a monster. So I'd probably go with Dallas.
Dallas is terrifying. they're scary. And like I said, if they can make it work with Luka and Kyrie, they're probably going to win the West.
This is like when the Germans like started to really just pop out of nowhere, you know?
What?
I meant to say it in ancient Roman times they got the chariots and all that, but it didn't go out well.
That's
hey, sometimes you shoot and you miss.
If you want to cancel Bruno Reagan, it's at Bruno Reagan on Twitter.
Who was the one guy that did like say something like that? Like there was a sports take guy who was on a national level and definitely said the same thing, and everyone was like, "That's dumb," but at least it was dumb and not dumb, you know.
Yeah, no, I think the easy answer to all that is the Mavs, and that's what's so interesting about this. I don't know how much Steven Adams really matters. I think we're seeing Steven Adams really, really does matter to that Memphis Grizzlies team. He's an unsung hero. He's top 5, I believe, before the injury in rebounds, average rebounds a game. He has been such a linchpin for that team that you just don't realize until he's gone. And that is the one commonality with him being out, his injury. That's with these losses.
That's the tough thing about an analytic or a personnel or, you know, a manager sort of position. You have to look at your team and be like, well, is Steven Adams that's the common denominator. We were on a tear and we were a top team in the West. Now we've lost X guy and then losses came, right? So is that a cause and effect? Is that connected? That's your job, is to find out. Personally, I would assume it shouldn't be that. But obviously, as the control group rises of games that they keep losing without Steven Adams, it just kind of validates itself. So I guess there is something there. If it was 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, yeah, whatever. 1 out of the last 8 or 9, that's it starts to become a trend.
How old do you think Luka is, by the way?
25?
25, Devlin?
Yeah, 26, 27.
It's 23.
Yeah.
He's 23 years old. This kid's going to be a problem. Him and John Moran the same age. I mean,
I'm the same age.
It's just crazy because they're also
yeah, Devlin, think about that.
Luka's
Me
what?
and Kyrie are the same age.
Like, how tall is Luka? Like
6'7", sir.
It's hard to believe he's 23 because he is 6'7". You're just like, that's a 30-year-old. That's a 35-year-old man.
Yeah, no, he looks on average as a 35-year-old man. That's the thing. His birthday is coming up this month, so he'll be 24 by the end of this year. But so will John Morant. But that's crazy.
And I just remembered, you remember the infamous Derek Dooley press conference? That's what it was. He was like, we're looking over the cliff for the Germans.
That's what
it was. So I had to remind you when I remember.
It was just all of a sudden, I started talking about Germany. 615-844-5600. If you want to jump in, we want to talk to you. Let's go to the phone lines. Kenny the mailman. Kenny, how are you doing on this blessed day?
Stretch, you just ruined my trip down memory lane for you. It was Derek Dooley at a press conference compared his team to the Germans at D-Day, how surprised they were. And that went over about like a Chinese balloon over America.
Nice.
Yeah, people were looking around going, what? Yeah, we don't compare our team as the Germans.
No.
But you know what? I need to take this opportunity. I need to apologize to our friend Bruno Reagan.
Why?
Bruno, are you going to accept my apology?
Yeah, of course.
Now, 3 or 4 times, we really had a good laugh talking about the ice cream incident, didn't we? The Metropolitan ice cream.
Yeah.
If you listen to the promo, I was laughing so hard that we let our buddy Zach Williams off the hook with what he said.
What did he say?
Have you ever caught what he said in the promo?
Uh-oh.
Listen to the very end, and Zach Williams says, "Oh, man, you threw off my equator." I think he meant equilibrium, which means balance, because I sure don't think he means that he owns the imaginary line that separates the northern and southern hemisphere.
That's a great point, Kenny. We have to remember Zach didn't graduate from a Vanderbilt or a private school.
Yeah.
We have to
So remember,
this.
Zach, that threw off your equilibrium, not your equator.
Kenny, I feel attacked. I feel attacked here, Kenny.
Well, you feel almost like the Germans at D-Day, right?
Yeah. I'm so surprised. It's all right back inside.
Fellas, I love laughing with y'all and listening every day. You never know what you're going to hear.
Hey,
y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it, Kenny. That I thought that was a thing that's right to say. My equator is off, is like my middle, right? Like
I think that's a Southern thing to say.
It
Very
could
much
be.
not a.
But
I think
Kenny's
it's a culture.
very Southern.
I think it's a cultural thing. Well, Kenny sounds like an educated man, so it probably just doesn't make sense.
I have a bachelor's degree. I don't like to flaunt it, but I got it from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
We've never seen that. We've never seen that degree.
Definitely got a kick out of that one. Definitely got a kick out of that one. Do you think I was going to stop at just University of Tennessee?
That was good.
My degree, I'm a UTC grad. My degree says University of Tennessee. Nothing about Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you would know about Chattanooga is because I have it in a frame that, it's in the Chattanooga stuff. But it's a University of Tennessee degree. I could just lie and be like, yep, go Vols if I wanted to. It's weird that it has that.
Vanderbilt grad.
I still haven't seen yours. I have photos of me. You know who I graduated with?
It's on my Instagram. You can go look.
You know who I graduated with?
My dog's biting my hair in the picture. What's up?
I graduated with Mr. Belvedere, the principal from Saved by the Bell. He was 3 credit hours short. He went to UTC when he was like whatever, and he was 3 credit hours short of finishing his degree before he went off to be an actor or whatever. And I think it is Mr. Belvedere. I think that's the principal from Saved by the Bell. All the same, he's the principal from Saved by the Bell. He 3 credit hours short, and they made like a whole documentary about him like coming back and finishing. I think he did like an online class or something like that to get his degree. But yeah, we were like right next to each other. My uncle was freaking out. Could not care less about me graduating at all. He was just like, "Oh my gosh!" He posted all these photos.
That's real. I appreciate your uncle for that. Don't fake it. If you're freaking out for another reason,
I was like, hey, bro, you didn't even know this was happening until you got here. You got here for me. No.
I appreciate your uncle for being honest and just being like,
he was very excited.
Yeah. Listen,
He was very
congrats, but come on.
I wonder if that's how people look at Kyrie Irving showing up to Dallas.
That's how they look at when you walk into the room, and then they're like, "Hey, Zach," and then I walk in behind you. They're like, "No way, that's Bruno."
No
Reagan.
way, he's that fat. I thought it was just a fun joke on an air.
That's not what they say. They go, "That guy is."
They go,
so,
"Oh no."
They go, "That guy must be the ultimate warrior." That's what they think. They go, "That guy's seen. He's been in the trenches and he's persevered. What a struggler."
615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. We got to run to a break. Before we go to the break, though, we got to talk about our friends over at Slim Chickens, located in Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro, and Hendersonville. Look, if you haven't had Slim Chickens, if you haven't tried it yet, do me a favor. 1, try it. 2, do it the right way. Download that Slim Chickens app. That is the best way to get it. Download the app, and then right there on the app, you can order it for maybe delivery to your home, office, wherever, or you can be like me and get it carry out to go right there. Order right there, pick it up, skip the line, skip the wait. It's so simple. You build up points for free desserts. I did that over the weekend, actually. Got me a free dessert jar. They're in the jar. I think Bruno had one of those too. It's Oreo cheesecake jar. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Can't
dude,
even.
those jars are insane.
They were amazing. And then you get to take the nice glass mason jar with you as well. It's perfect. But do it all on the Slim Chickens app. Go see them in person once again. That is in Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet, and Hendersonville. Slim Chickens, wings, tenders, and more.
Good afternoon. Still a bit slow from an earlier crash on 24 eastbound at 840 out here in Rutherford County. Again, you're able to get around it a little bit more. Still some rubbernecking and slow traffic on 24 eastbound again as you approach 840 in Rutherford County. Watch for radar in Wilson County this afternoon into the evening on I-40 out through Mount Juliet. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. If you want it done right the first time, and I know you do, call these guys at Nash Painting, area code 615-912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Nashville area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, smooth skin and soft hair comes from where? Here's Mike.
Hey Culligan, I've tried every conditioner, lotion, and body wash known to man, and my skin still feels like sandpaper.
It could be your water, Mike.
Oh, that's harsh.
More like hard water. Are you interested in smart, high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
Huh?
Want baby smooth skin and soft, luxurious hair?
Yeah, can you hurry? I have a date tonight.
We're already on the way, Mike. Let us help you out with the free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
Slim's Tender Mac Bowls are back. We start with a 3-cheese blend to make our delicious mac and top it with chopped hand-breaded tenders and Colby Jack cheese. Try the Tender Mac Bowl meal or the Buffalo Tender Mac Bowl meal, both served with Texas toast and a medium drink. But hurry, they're only around for a limited time. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Coming off his second straight SEC win, this one at the bank. Clark Lee, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, this is my favorite time of the week to be with you guys, so I'm happy to be here.
If you think that's not going to be on a promo, Clark, you are sadly mistaken,
Clark,
sir.
you just made the haters so furious, so thank you very much.
The afternoon stretch. Afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Call in now to the afternoon stretch, 615-844-5600, and be the most talented person on the show.
The afternoon stretch, Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams, again, messed up. And that's okay. We had Kenny call me out on a mess up, and now I messed up again. It's Mr. Belding, not Mr. Belvedere. Dennis Haskins was the guy who graduated with me. I never watched that show. Let's go to Eric in Nashville. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. You did, because what I meant is the guy on the show, the principal's name was Mr. Belding. Mr. Belvedere was a butler for Bob Uecker's show. The star Bob Uecker. So y'all did it again. In fact, the guy that was also the butler, he also, if you remember, went to the show Fantasy Island and replaced Hervé Villechaize, who was tattooed, because he had a contract dispute. So, guys, y'all did it again. Mr. Belding was the principal at Bayside High, not Mr. Belvedere. Mr. Belvedere was a butler, and it was a show that starred Bob Uecker.
See, I knew Dennis the man. All right, I didn't know the actor side of him. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Look, also we've said this at the beginning too, Eric, of the show. If it didn't happen before, if it happened before the year 2000, we don't know it. Okay, and we'll wear that with a badge of honor.
But it seems like y'all just having misspokes and missteps. I know I'm just picking at you, messing with you, but I just figured you'd want to know the information, guys.
Thanks. Hey, Eric, we appreciate you listening, buddy.
Hey, y'all take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, buddy. That's a good one. Hey, happens to the absolute best of us because it just happened to me.
Well, I come on air and I don't care about being right about really anything.
You lie.
I try to avoid lying if it's not funny. But there's a lot of people on Nashville airwaves that care about being right, and you can go listen to them be right. I don't care. I just want to be entertaining.
Try to be right.
I just want to be entertaining. That's what I care about. And then every now and then with something I can offer insight in, like O-line play, I'll do it. But I just want to have fun.
You wanna hear something that's a weird story? This one coming out of Denver. I didn't know this. I didn't know this throughout the season. Maybe it was talked about, maybe local media, or if you hyper focus on the local markets and things like that. Head coach Sean Payton was out answering questions, now new head coach of the Denver Broncos, and a reporter asked him a question about outside staff members coming into team facilities. Listen to this.
On the 30-second
Coach, Russell Wilson had a personal coach, Jake Heaps, in the building with access who wasn't on the staff.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that.
How do you feel about players having their own people off the staff in the building, access to the players?
Yeah, that's foreign to me. That's not going to take place here. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with it, but our staff will be here, our players will be here, and that'll be it.
Coach Sean,
Now, this is hey, Sean Payton's stock skyrocketed a little bit. It's amazing how a little clip can change an opinion on somebody. I didn't know Sean Payton, or really, I didn't watch him carefully through the Drew Brees years and how he handled things. I know he had hit squads out on people or whatever, so that was pretty lame. It wasn't him. It was Greg Williams. I get it, but it was still happened under his rule. Listen, that's true. The fact that Russ got all these things with coming to Denver, right? He got a special parking spot. He got his own office away from the locker room, I think. And now we know that he had people who were off the Broncos payroll in the Broncos building with him, right?
Which is insane.
That is so out of the ordinary. And let me tell you, out of the ordinary is only fine if what, Zach?
If you're winning.
If they were winning, if Sean Payton was taking over Super Bowl champs and they were like, this is the way we do things, he'd probably be like, okay, great. He's taking over dumpster fire. And so when you hear that, you're like, okay, that's something we're not going to do is that. Because what a personal coach would tell Russ against a quarterback's coach and the head coach and the OC and the O-line coach on what they want to do things, and you have this guy who's off the payroll in the building, no, that doesn't fly. So the fact he shut that down so early, he wasn't diplomatic. He wasn't like, I'm going to go talk to Russ about it. We'll make it. No, that ain't happening.
I'll tell you this.
Word.
I think that what you said is wrong. I don't think he's taking over a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire is like everything's bad. I think this is when I was trying to think. What would I say?
Taking over a diamond in the rough.
He's taking over a Lamborghini that was underwater. That's what he's taking over. It wasn't moving, it wasn't driving, but you can fix it. It's been flooded. You can fix this because the pieces the Broncos have are great. They really are. Individually, if you go through that, you're like, this is not bad.
I've yet to see Jerry Jeudy put on, so I'm waiting.
Jerry Jeudy had a big game against all his big games against the Chiefs last year.
I know, they just couldn't win.
They just couldn't win. But their defense is top tier in the NFL. They have, with their wide receiver cores is very elite.
Well, the defense got a lot of practice. They got a lot of reps out there.
And if they could just get Russell Wilson working, like Javonte Williams coming back from injury, he's a good running back. He just had some costly fumbles right at the 1 yard line this season, which that happens. Ask Derrick Henry. It doesn't take away your stock as a player, but he's walking into a great situation in Denver. It's not a dumpster fire. It's a Lamborghini that's been at the bottom of the lake, and now it's getting towed out. It's going to get dried off, and it's going to get put back together, and it's going to be what? A Lamborghini. I'm not trying to overhype the Broncos going forward, but I could understand why they have success this next season. If Sean Payton is really coming in and putting his foot down on some weird things that were going on, and maybe those are some of the weird things that were going on that the higher-ups saw Nathaniel Hackett letting get away, and they were like, Nathaniel Hackett doesn't have the backbone to tell Russell Wilson no. Sean Payton's going to have that back.
No one had the backbone to tell Russell
Sean Payton
Wilson
will do it.
Yeah, which is why you get paid the big bucks, baby.
Yeah. So maybe that's exactly what Russell Wilson
I don't
needed.
like the whole when people get big contracts. I get it. You get like Tom Brady. He was getting the Wednesdays off, but that's 20 years of GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the uniform GOAT. So maybe some things slip away. Russell Wilson is not. You are not better than anyone on this team. You're not a more valuable human. You're not a better man. I don't care what you say. I don't care.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
That is true. You are not more important than anyone here. So stop all that stuff.
But see, Nathaniel Hackett let him get away, and maybe Pete Carroll wasn't letting.
Yeah, and you know what happened? The players were screaming at Russell Wilson on the sideline, which is a terrible look.
Yeah, no, that was.
And then you have Richard Sherman coming out. He's like, this guy sucks.
That still feels like Richard Sherman was just now getting onto the TNF stuff and was like, all right, time to say something.
Yeah.
He's texting Richard, hey, I'm sorry. I'm about to say something real quick.
I don't think it goes that deep. I think he might have not been like that just was a silent opinion he had that he was like, well, I'm in media, so I'm going to verbalize it. I don't think it goes that deep. Like, hey, Russ, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I think it was like he thinks that.
Show me the text messages. I want to see it between them. Let me see them. We need to get those receipts. 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. We want to talk to you. We're going to take a break. When we come back, though, we'll finish up the first hour. Got a whole second hour coming up today on this Monday edition of the Afternoon Stretch.
Good afternoon. They're wrapping up a crash. I'm looking at it live here on 24 westbound near Harding Place. This is the second wreck that we've had out here in this location. And within the last hour and a half, it's been slow coming in from Rutherford County to Nashville on 24 westbound because of these wrecks out here around Harding Place. I see traffic starting to get a little bit heavy 40 east, wanting to slow down around 109. As you make your way out into Wilson County just before you get out to Lebanon. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. Check them out online at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Are you looking for a trusted partner who knows AT&T business inside and out? ABS Communications is an organization built on the premise that telecom solutions and working with companies like AT&T can often be complicated, and the customer needs someone to help them navigate through these complexities. They make complex simple. Whether it's helping maintain, manage, or secure your business, ABS Communications is here to help all your business telecom and mobility needs. Their business was built with the goal of simplifying the process of connectivity for the customer and establishing a long-term relationship of trust through transparency and accountability. ABS Communications is a top 5 AT&T authorized agent with over 200 years of AT&T technical experience. You can call Mark and the gang at 615-349-8588, or you can visit their website at abscom.net. And remember, mention the McFarland Show to ABS, and you could get up to $250 in a Visa gift card for new ABS business customers.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
It's a Bill King Show.
In Little League football, they play it off. You can't do it in college football, Bill. You got to come up with a bunch of computers and some BCS cockamamie scheme. My answer was yes. It's unique. Absolutely love it. I go into my garage every day and make sure there are no dust particles on those BCS computers. I do that.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
The Afternoon Stretch, the show endorsed by News Channel 5's John Burton.
The Afternoon Stretch, Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. AJ Green retiring. He so good. Was the McFarlands, I think when I was riding in, I heard the McFarlands, they were talking about, is he Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I think I agree with them. They're not. He's not a Hall of Famer. He might get in, but I don't think he has the real qualifications to get in to be a Hall of Famer. He was a monster player. When he was in his prime, he was great.
If he was on a bigger market team, would he be a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
That's such. I hate that.
I know.
You're right.
No, it's. I mean, why are the national shows still talking about Dak Prescott and the Cowboys? They have no reason to talk about it, but they talk about it because they're a big market. They're a big market. They're biggest names. But who cares? But A.J. Green being in Cincinnati, having Andy Dalton to throw him the ball, it just didn't help.
Over 10,000 yards, second all-time on Bengals receiving yards list and touchdowns list.
Hey, he'll go into Ring of Honor or whatever.
7 times. He'll go in the Hall of Good.
Yes.
Someone should make a Twitter account like that for all sports. The Hall of Good. It's people that just miss the cut for the Hall of Fame.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of players that, essentially should. There's a lot of them that should be in, but they're not going to get into the Hall of Fame. And I think he's just one of them. That's just how it is. He's just going to be that guy. And
oh, no! He's not getting the Hall of Fame!
If you're a Bengals fan, it hurts you.
You know what else hurts you? Waking up every day in the city of Cincinnati. You wake up, just why?
Now, look, I'll tell you this. If A.J. Green had Joe Burrow, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
That's fair.
That's honestly.
You think Carson Palmer was putting on for the city? Frick, guys, we got to be better.
Andy Dalton.
Whatever.
I think he had both of them. I believe Carson Palmer.
He probably played at the tail end.
Yeah, I think he was definitely in there. I don't know. There's a lot of wide receivers that are so close to it. They're just not in. They're just not quite there. He could get in. He could sneak in because of
no shot.
What's the recency bias? He could get in.
I don't think so. He's got to compete. Who is he competing with? J.J. Watt and Tom Brady already have 2 hit names off the top of my head. They're going to be first ballot.
Yeah.
No shot.
He could get. I can see him getting in on his second time.
I can't.
Possible.
No, I can't see it.
At least sniffing.
Nope.
He could go and visit it, pay a ticket and go in and see.
Absolutely. Hey, we play a football game there. I'll see you there. You can come watch the game there.
He could probably still play.
He
probably
could play
better than every other wide receiver on your team.
My team, no. We got some good wide receivers.
A.J. Green.
He can play. No.
First hour's done. Second hour coming up.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Aldinger. The U.S. is mobilizing assistance to the Turkish-Syrian border, where a massive earthquake is now blamed for more than 2,300 deaths.
Frantic search effort is paying off. Survivors being stretchered out from the rubble of tangled metal and chunks of concrete and placed in waiting ambulances. Then off to area hospitals, many of which are already packed. The region sits on top of major fault lines. Some 18,000 were killed in similarly powerful quakes that hit northwest Turkey in 1999. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
A small earthquake jolted western New York State this morning. The 3.8 trembler centered near Buffalo was the strongest to strike the region in decades. 2 people are under arrest accused of plotting an attack on Baltimore's power grid.
These plans were stopped thanks to the swift action and collaboration of our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners. Together, we are using every legal means necessary to keep Marylanders safe and to disrupt hate-fueled violence.
U.S. Attorney Eric Barron. The Ohio National Guard has been activated to help the town of East Palestine, where a train which derailed on Friday night continues to smolder. President Biden putting the finishing touches on tomorrow night's State of the Union address.
People are struggling, and they are not happy with Joe Biden. His approval numbers remain stagnant, but they don't much like the Republican approach either. Consider the looming crisis over the debt ceiling, with Republicans threatening to not raise the debt ceiling unless they get major spending cuts that threatens to plunge the country into default. But 65% of the people in America reject that Republican approach.
ABC's Terry Moran. China's accused the U.S. of using indiscriminate force and shooting down a suspected spy balloon off the South Carolina coast. You're listening to ABC News.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Hey Nashville, start your day the right way with Bongo Java Cafe, located in the lobby of the Omni Nashville Hotel. Bongo Java is Nashville's oldest local coffee company. Get your day started with a freshly baked muffin and wash it down with a hot cup of dark roast or hair of the dog blend. With free Wi-Fi, you can get some work done while enjoying a toasted breakfast sandwich. Beat the traffic, treat yourself at Bongo Java Cafe, located in the lobby of the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown Music City.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
What's great about bowling is you can bowl well into your latter years.
Even now, I get that thing you sit it on and it rolls down, and I get the bumper guards on the side. I think that's probably the only way you can beat Zach. See, I didn't.
I heard you.
I didn't mean that.
I know sold you. That's okay.
I didn't mean it.
You got a two-piece coming with a biscuit.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton. WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Nashville area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Okay, it's happening. It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Let's take some calls from the public, shall we? Join the afternoon stretch now at 615-844-5600. Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch. Bruno
Who wants
Reagan.
me? Who wants me?
Devlin McKenzie. Who wants Devlin McKenzie? Everybody.
Everybody.
Not Devlin McKenzie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Devlin, when people ask you what you do, what do
Hey,
you
Zach
what,
Williams here too.
When people ask you what do you do, both of you, I'll start with you, Zach, and then I'll let Devlin. When people ask you what do you do, what do you tell them?
I talk for a living. I say it every time.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Talk for a living? What do you say, Devlin?
I push buttons.
Button pusher? I don't even know what I say. I can't even think of it.
All right, Bruno. Bruno has a big announcement. He's announcing his retirement. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Today I was thinking about all the work I have to do in March, and I really don't want to do it. So I was like, man, what if I just don't do it? And I told Zach off air, and now we're talking about it on air. Yeah, I was thinking about all the work that goes into being a pro football player, and I was like, man, this sucks. Like, I'm really, like, dreading it. But who knows? Maybe I'll get closer. And we'll see.
Sucks, too, to not only do it all that work, but then to not even, when you're done with your career, to not even be recognized. You know what I mean? Like A.J. Green probably won't be recognized.
He'll get some.
for the Hall
He'll
of
get
Fame.
some attaboys. He'll get some attaboys.
I'm looking through like a Hall of Fame monitor. You go to like ProFootballReference.com. They have like a monitor right there for you, and you can like look and see. I'm looking at some of the names. A.J. Green's way down the list, and where you would put him with other Hall of Famers. But guys who are still not in yet, Larry Fitz, which
that's insane.
He'll be in.
Well, has he come up on his year yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, he'll be in.
He'll be a first ballot. He'll be sure. Yeah. Reggie Wayne has not gotten in yet, which is he will get in. He will get in. Julio Jones obviously will get in when it's time for him to be done, which he has not retired yet. Torrey Holt, who is not in yet, which greatest show on turf. I mean, that was one of the most deadliest teams. And then right in that same breath as those guys I just mentioned, we were talking about this off air, Antonio Brown is sitting. If you're looking at stats,
he deserves to be in.
He, by far, all you 90s Cowboys fans and all you out there, and you love the playmaker Michael Irvin, and he's on all ESPN shows, and he's going crazy, and he was this amazing player. I get it. Antonio Brown destroys him in stats. Destroys him in stats. Not even close. In less games. Don't give me the whole, well, it's a different era of football back then. No. He destroys him with like 20 less games.
Different era of football. Doesn't Jerry Rice still hold the receiving record? Like
Yes.
all-time career?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not an excuse.
Exactly. But you look at Michael Irvin, who's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm not trying to take away from anything from Michael Irvin, but 65 touchdowns in his career, 11,000 yards, 11,904, and he had 750 receptions. Still an amazing career. Still a great career. He's in the Hall of Fame. You look at Antonio Brown. Now, remind you, Michael Irvin was 159 games. In 146 games for Antonio Brown, he had 928 catches, 12,000 yards, and 83 touchdowns.
Now, I know it sounds like we're making the case for Antonio Brown to the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying.
We're stating the facts.
I don't see the stat sheet that says he ran off and got naked on the middle of the field.
Social media,
I don't see that one.
Social media doesn't exist. Antonio Brown's in the Hall of Fame. Quite simply, true.
Well, I mean, yeah, this guy could be said for Michael Irvin. I mean, it didn't exist back then.
It's a great point. No, and I was emotionless when you said that because you're right. First of all, that guy would have been canceled. There's a lot. Hey, you old people, don't act like you're all above me. Don't act like you're above us.
Just
you all would have gone. You all would have gone down. I know you.
Yeah, looking at AJ Green though, I don't know if he gets in.
Also, and let me finish my thought. Antonio Brown will not be getting in the Hall of Fame because your conduct does matter. So
yeah, I think that'll be. It would be.
Could you imagine?
It would have
the
to be a
speech?
huge comeback of some sort. Not on the field, but off the field.
Hey guys, Antonio Brown. Thank you for getting me a Hall of Fame. Follow me on OnlyFans at a real AB12X. It's probably what would happen.
Dance.
He does it off. No way.
But really, he's just trying to figure out, like, do I go that way? Or he doesn't know how to get off the podium.
Then a person comes up to help him, and then he slaps him.
Yeah, no. I don't think Antonio Brown will get in. Just like I don't think we're gonna see.
You know who he has to blame for not getting in? Himself.
Devlin pointed at himself, and I was like, Devlin, did you cause this? Did you do all this?
I'm the downfall of Antonio Brown.
It was whenever he took that kick return and punched that Browns punter in the face. Remember? Like,
hey,
he like jumped up and stepped on his face.
He's spark. There's no one like he's done things that I couldn't imagine getting away with. He's like doing that in a game would be a death sentence for people.
He was trying to hurdle him. It just
No,
didn't work at all. He
No,
thought he was
he
going to go low.
wasn't.
Every kicker you see tackle, what do? They go for the feet every time.
He knew what he was doing.
I'm not going to go so boldly to say 100%
You are defending the decision making of a man who took his pads off naked and jumping jacked off the field in the end zone and then Ubered home on Cameo. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I just know that was the moment Devlin was like, I'm going to end this guy's career.
Yeah,
and he did. Good job, Devlin.
Vontez Burfict kind of took care of it, I guess.
Yeah. Steve Smith Sr., does he get in? Yeah, he does. I'm looking at this stat. 14,000 yards.
Not all these guys are going to get in. We say it so matter-of-factly. I mean, we're like, yeah, this guy, yeah, this guy, yeah, this guy. Some of these guys are going to be left off.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely. Like, Anquan Bolden might be one that doesn't get in. I can see Anquan Bolden not getting in. Just because kind of the same thing we're talking about with A.J. Green. Anquan Bolden was an absolute dog in the NFL. But, Hines Ward's another one. You look at his stats, they're good, but is it enough? Hines Ward might get it. Rod Smith, that's one. Rod Smith, there are dogs in the NFL. Tyreek Hill will probably get in. At this point in his career, he could almost have an argument now to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's tough. Hall of Fame's so weird, too. It's just so weird, especially sport by sport, the way that baseball holds it over and football, and then it feels like you don't even hear about it from basketball hardly. But, yeah, baseball Hall of Fame, especially this last year, was just ridiculous. Still upset about that. Andrew Jones definitely should have got in.
It's not his last year to be eligible, though, right?
No. It was just it was his first year, and he has stats comparable to every other first ballot Hall of Famer to get in.
Whatever. That's the fact that they have an extra prestige of there's Hall of Famer and then there's first ballots Hall of Famer.
Well, you're always going to have that. Like Peyton Manning's he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Right.
But the fact that people address people like that, like first ballot Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame's a Hall of Fame. You get in the Hall of Fame, you're in the Hall of Fame. Straight up.
No.
Real recognize real respect.
That's true. That's true.
And Eli Manning beat him in the Pro Bowl. So how good is Peyton Manning? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. That was. I thought you said Super Bowl. I was like, that didn't happen. There could have been though.
Did I say? I might have said the Super Bowl.
No, you said Pro Bowl. You said Pro Bowl. Okay. The how crazy is that? By the way, it's Super Bowl obviously this Sunday, which everybody's excited for. How crazy! I did not realize that the Kelce brothers are the first brothers to play each other in the Super Bowl.
Well, now that you mention it, it's crazy that they are the first because no one's addressing that. There's not a show.
They're the first. The only you know how I learned it honestly was from their podcast.
Independent research.
No, it was their show.
Are you being serious?
They were talking about it.
Oh, you're being serious.
Yeah,
I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit.
No, I'm being dead serious.
This has been like a big story for like the past 3 weeks.
It's just crazy to me that they haven't
Hey,
had.
I learned they were brothers 2 months ago. So
well, I'm just saying it's crazy that the NFL hadn't had two brothers. As many like prolific brothers in the NFL there have been that they
Shannon
haven't.
Sterling. I'm trying to think if there are any more on the top. Any of the
The
Matthews
Barbers,
family.
the Barbers,
Yeah.
Tiki and Rondé,
Eli Payton. Any of the Matthews.
yeah, I'm just surprised that there was like these are the first. These kids went to Cincinnati.
Yep.
Alums of Devlin's. I just never thought they were. I didn't think that was. I thought that was already done by now.
Nope.
I saw a video. I saw the video of.
They were talking about where their parents would sit, and I think they were like, they'll go with Travis since he's like single, and Jason has his own family. Like, kind of deal.
I saw that the video. It was Jason watching with the parents, watching Travis, watching the Chiefs Bengals game, the AFC Championship, and the second they won, you see. Jason Kelce takes he had Chiefs gear on and took it off and threw it down and put Eagles gear back on. The second it was over, he was like, "Yep, fandom went out." Second that clock strikes 0, I hate the Chiefs. That's what he said. Which it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, and good for them. I mean, I'm sure they have a healthy day. Hey, they're both already Super Bowl champs, anyways. So
yeah,
I guess this is just for the bragging rights. This is just for the ha-has for the bi-yearly family meetup that
we talked about this off air. I don't think we talked about it on air. Travis Kelce could retire after this year.
Yeah, a lot of people. Travis Kelce's in a weird predicament where it seems like he's peaking at a very late age. Travis Kelce, a lot of people don't realize how long Travis Kelce's been in the league. He has grinded to get as good as he is, and we mentioned it last week because it was like he doesn't do anything. It's not like he's gotten faster or more athletic. He just he's like just aged like a fine wine, and he goes well with his stride. He plays well to the system. He still does all the things well. He's a bigger tight end, so he's a mismatch underneath. It's like when Andy Reid got there, he just was like, hey, there's this diamond in the rough, and we're going to exploit him. And it really gave him a Hall of Fame career that he might not have had otherwise.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, I went to look at his, he's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But if Andy Reid doesn't get to Kansas City, I'm not sure if we're talking him over George Kittle so matter-of-factly.
Yeah, no, I would. No, you're right. You're saying without Andy Reid? No, 100%. That is something in the NFL that people do not take full account of in talking about a player being good or bad. It's so easy to individualize a player and say, well, they're losing because this guy sucks. And it's like, no, there's a lot of circumstances. Patrick Mahomes, it came out a week or two ago to the Bears. He could have went to the Bears. Guess what? Patrick Mahomes would not be Patrick Mahomes if he was in Chicago. He would not be the Patrick Mahomes that we know today. He would not have a Super Bowl ring. He would not have it because he needed to be with Andy Reid.
He'd be like a Joe Burrow-esque figure, like where it's like we don't know where to place him on the rankings, but
I
he's
think
still
lesser.
competing.
I even think lesser than that. I mean, Andy Reid, the offensive mind of Andy Reid has created Patrick Mahomes. He has created Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes now we could sit there.
I love
and say,
how we talk about it so like it's the mind. It's like he's just such a genius. He's like, well, we got this big tall white guy. Why don't we throw him the ball?
We have the fastest guy in the NFL, and we have this giant tight end guy. Let's work them in somehow. Just throw them the ball. Yeah. Now Patrick Mahomes has downloaded that, and he could go to another team and win a Super Bowl. That's possible. I could see Patrick Mahomes leave, go to the Ravens, and they win a Super Bowl with the Ravens.
He would look terrible in their colors.
It would, yeah. It would be weird. But I could see it, right? I could see that happening, and it works out. But Pat Mahomes going into the league without Andy Reid, no shot it happens. Just doesn't happen. You gotta have the pieces. You gotta have. That's why. Once again, look, I'm gonna everybody close your ears. I'm gonna talk about Marcus Mariota again.
No.
Marcus Mariota.
Thrown to the wolves.
How screwed was Marcus when he was here in Nashville? Yeah. How screwed was that guy? He went through
Corey Davis in the first round.
They went through 4 head coaches. 4 head coaches and 5 OCs in the time that Marcus Mariota was the quarterback.
And your
here.
wide receiver ones were Kendall Wright and Corey Davis.
Delaney Walker. That was it. That was all he had. That is a recipe for failure. It's so easy to be like, oh yeah, he just sucks. No, he doesn't. He was good.
No, Marcus Mariota did not suck. We were blessed to have him.
He had an unfortunate revolving door of head coaches and offensive coordinators coming in and out of his life. Patrick Mahomes got Andy Reid the whole time. He got to learn under Alex Smith. Marcus Mariota showed up and was like your starter.
And Andy Reid, he lives his job. He takes it so. And other coaches don't do that. Some coaches show up and they coach 9 to 5, and they won't talk about it, but they do. Andy Reid knew, like, when I was at minicamp, I was a minicamp guy. I was a tryout guy. Where there's like 13 of us on top of the 80 rookies that are there, and he knew my name. He was like, Bruno, what are you doing? Get the huddle together. I was like, okay. But that just shows you how much research he does to everybody and everything. Like, it means that much to him. So, I think you have a point. And that's why there's no secret Kadarius Toney is more successful now that he's there.
I mean, look, Kenny Golladay. Like, I get it. Kenny Golladay, at one point, was good.
He was the biggest name.
That's why he made $70 million. That's why the Giants paid him. But it's just not working in New York. If he went to another team, he would probably be good. If he was on the Chiefs, Kenny Golladay would be good.
That's going to be T. Higgins when he leaves Cincinnati. Hot take.
You think he's going to be
good
or bad?
You think he's going to regress?
He's going to be the next Kenny Galladay, where he's
just buried under talent in Cincinnati?
A huge price on T. Higgins' head right now.
Yes.
And
Titans fans are foaming.
The moment he leaves, not going to happen. He's not going to be the guy.
He doesn't have Joe Burrow anymore. Unless he goes to Kansas City or maybe Buffalo or whatever, just one of those teams that have those quarterbacks that help him. But if he showed up like here in Nashville, because that's where, look, a lot of Titans fans want T. Higgins. That's a big consistency. You're going to have to pay him. Titans will never do that, because why would you get rid of A.J. Brown?
I know you want things. You don't know what you need, though.
But you're right. I think you're right. T. Higgins would not be a success here in Nashville the way that he's been. On top of a tremendous wide receiver core with Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd around him, and then Joe Mixon running game, and then Joe Burrow as your quarterback. He comes here. He's the lone dog. I guess Treylon Burks is there, so maybe it works. I don't know. But I think you're right. That's a great comparison. Kenny Galladay or T. Higgins is the next Kenny Galladay. It's just easy. Kenny Galladay's just got one target, like pretty much for the whole season.
Hey, he's out there throwing out monstrous blocks.
Yeah, he's throwing a block.
It speaks to me when you're a guy who should by all accounts be getting more. I've seen some pretty terrible drops from him, though.
Oh, yeah.
But at least he's out there playing hard.
Vanilla Vic out there scrambling. You just better throw a block. That's all they're saying right now. All right, we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to send it down to Dallas, Texas, and we're going to talk with Josh Bowe. He covers Mavs basketball, and business just picked up for him with Kyrie Irving coming in. We're going to get the Mavs side of this, what their thoughts are. I was listening to some of their work there with SB Nation, and to their reaction of all this, they were apparently all together. All these writers were together at a baby shower. And when the news came out, every one of them just left, which is tremendous. But we're going to hear about it from him on the other side here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. I'm looking at a crash up against the wall. It's 440 westbound at West End Avenue. Again, that's 440 going westbound over here at Murphy Road, West End Avenue on this crash up against the wall. It's pretty crowded now, but it's moving 40 east at Fessler's all the way out to the airport. 40 east looks like it still wants to slow through Wilson County, Mount Juliet area, actually near 109. That's 40 going eastbound. 24 east is still running slow, approaching 840. That's all from an earlier wreck we had in that section of Rutherford County. Snapdragon Hemp, serving up lab-tested top-shelf hemp products across Tennessee, the nation. Actually, edibles, flowers, concentrates. For orders, log on to snapdragon420.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
What's your next dream? Paying off your credit card, remodeling your kitchen, exploring the rainforests of Costa Rica? Whatever your dreams, they take some planning. And State Farm agent Austin Hardy is right here in the Middle Tennessee community to lend a hand. As your local good neighbor, he can help you look at the things you want to save for and come up with a plan to make those saving goals happen. Because your money should work just as hard as you to achieve your dream. So whether it's being free of debt or free to roam the world, call State Farm agent Austin Hardy here in the Middle Tennessee community. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I've already seen them rolling out the advertisement for this brand new NFL Pro Bowl thing they're trying. With the skill challenge and flag football. And I guess they've decided, you know what, we're not doing the game at all. Just, forget it.
It's been a garbage game for a long time, but yet people still watch. You get TV ratings.
Sure.
Our TV ratings are still good.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Call now, 615-844-5600 with any criticism of the afternoon stretch. Don't worry, they're not smart enough to understand.
That one always hurts my feelings. The afternoon stretch, Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Typically, I'd say jumping on the phone, 615-844-5600, but we're going to send it down to Dallas, Texas. If you've been hiding under a rock, then you must have missed out on all the big news. That is not official yet. I understand that. I saw already some DMs. Not actually official. It's cool. It's going. I do believe it's going to happen, so we get to talk about it in the odds of that it's happening. But Kyrie Irving headed to the Dallas Mavericks. That is as blockbuster as you can get. I was sitting here Friday before the show saying, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And here we are. So now let's go and talk with Josh Bowe. He is a writer for Mavs Moneyball with SB Nation. Josh, thanks so much for jumping on with us.
Thank you so much. And if I could offer some breaking news, the trade actually is official. Just came across my inbox. The Mavericks have officially announced it. So have the Nets. So the deal is done.
You've heard it here on the afternoon stretch.
Yeah, you heard it here first, not Mavs Moneyball. You heard it here. Thank you, Josh. We'll send you your 1099 soon enough.
Thank you so much.
So first things first, what was your thought when this came across and you saw this? What did you think about that trade?
Just kind of a deep sigh. I'm not sure. It was kind of weird because when the Mavericks were first announced as rumored, one of the teams in the running, along with the Lakers and the Suns and the Clippers were rumored as well. when I started looking at it and looking at what the Nets were and where the Mavericks were, I was just kind of like, man, I think the Mavericks they're gonna be the team that pulls this off, because looking at the Nets, they are 4th in the Eastern Conference. They still have Kevin Durant. I was like, why would they want Russell Westbrook, who would make their team worse? Like, why do they necessarily just want cap space and draft picks when they still want to win with Kevin Durant? And I was like, if the Mavericks want to make a deal, they could give them players that would, still keep them competitive with Durant. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, if the Mavericks really want this, it's going to happen. And lo and behold, it happened. And it's very complicated, for the Mavericks side of it. It's probably the riskiest move in franchise history when you consider the stakes and you consider that Kyrie Irving, despite being one of the most talented players in the NBA, is maybe one of the most unreliable stars that the league has seen in the last 10 or 15 years. This is a guy that when he's on the floor, he's incredible, but he's not on the floor a lot. And there's a bunch of reasons why he's not on the floor. And that's just kind of like the layers you have to peel back and get into. And that's what makes this trade so risky for the Mavericks.
I was saying earlier, JR of course, wrestling, he had a quote, business is about to pick up. It seems like it's about to pick up in a big way for you, but just the Dallas area, having somebody like that, it almost feels kind of like anti what the Mavericks have been for so long of not bringing in those big names. Do you think this is just a shift of ideology for the Mavs, or is this something that maybe you've been seeing a trend of coming towards this, or just them coming to the realization that you have to bring in the big names to get into that running?
I don't know if it's a shift. I think they've always wanted to bring in the big names. The problem is they've just never been able to close the deal. Since 2011, when they won the championship, Mark Cuban's initiative has been, let's clear cap space and try to sign a superstar in free agency, and let's put a superstar next to Dirk in his twilight years, and that didn't work. And now they cleared cap space in 2019, and they tried to sign Kemba Walker. That didn't work. So they've been trying. They just haven't been able to do it. And I think the reason why it got done in this instance is basically, I think the Mavericks have reached a point of desperation. And Luka Doncic is no longer on his rookie contract. He's on his second contract, which means the clock is ticking in terms of, if you've been following the NBA for the last 10 years, you know that these superstars have the ability to throw leverage around and either demand a trade or use their pending free agency to get where they want to go. And the Mavericks, in the first year of Luka's big Supermax extension, they're 28-26 right now. This is the worst record they've had this deep into the season since Luka's rookie year. Every single season they have kind of gotten better than the previous season. From Luka's rookie year to year 2 to year 3 to year 4, they've been kind of slowly progressing, and that culminated with the Western Conference Finals trip. And now they've taken a pretty major step back. They lost Jalen Brunson. The cupboard is bare. The Kristaps Porzingis trade didn't work, despite Spencer Dinwiddie turning out to be a better player than I think most had anticipated. And I think they just were kind of looking at themselves, and I think they were feeling the pressure. You can't win in the NBA without having, star talent. And Luka was their only star talent. And I think that kind of forced them to push their chips in for this type of deal.
Talking with Josh Bowe. You can follow him on Twitter at Bowman55. He's a writer for Mavs Moneyball with SB Nation. Bruno Reagan, what do you got for Josh?
Well, frankly, Josh, I want your opinion. How much better do you think this makes the Mavs? Is this the next jump that takes them from, what you're talking about, maybe a place where since Luka's first year with the Mavs that they're not as successful? Does this bring them back up to that competitive stance, or, how do you think it fits?
I think the crazy thing about this is once you kind of peel back the off-court issues and what Kyrie's done and suspensions and injuries and missing games, the on-court fit actually is kind of brilliant. You think about who Kyrie has played with in his career. He's played with LeBron James. He's played with Kevin Durant. He's played with those high-usage superstars before and has been a really productive player. Again, qualifier, when he plays. So their skill set with Luka Doncic and Kyrie, those should mesh really well. And the Mavericks love, with Luka, he loves to pick out isolations, try to find the weakest defender on the floor and attack. That's kind of the Mavericks' offensive scheme. And Kyrie is one of the best isolation scorers in basketball this season. He's basically, if you look at some of the data, he is the best this season. And that's going to fit right into what Jason Kidd and the Mavericks offense likes to run. And you think about their 0-7 in games Luka hasn't suited up in this season. That's obviously probably going to change. I think when Luka is off the floor, their offense would rank as the worst in the NBA when Luka's not playing. Again, Kyrie, that's going to help there. So I don't think it solves all their problems. You know, they are still in the lower half of the league or lower third of the league in terms of defense and their ranking defensively. So they're going to need to regroup and try to find a way to replace a player like Dorian Finney-Smith in another way. And they're going to need to get some defenders in here. But in terms for this season, with the West being so wide open, if Kyrie plays and he stays healthy and he stays on the floor, I think they're a better team than they were, a couple days ago. But they still have a lot of work to do in terms of, I think, reaching where they want this roster to end up at. I'm glad you mentioned it because I want you to expound on it. What is Dallas giving up for this trade, and kind of expand on that from, a more centralized point, because you're obviously not getting Kyrie Irving for free. They're giving up They're giving up capital, they're giving up players. What do the Mavericks lose to gain this talent? Yeah, so they're giving up Spencer Dinwiddie, who's been their second best offensive player next to Luka. He's had a really nice resurgence since coming to Dallas. I mean, his three-point shooting has been crazy. He's been one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league. He's shooting over 40%, and this is a guy that for his career was like below 35, like in the low 30s from three. So a crazy turnaround. I think that's what helped probably juice this trade a little bit, because if he wasn't able to turn around what he was doing when he was in Washington last year, I don't know if the Mavericks have the ammo to get this done. So they're trading Spencer Dinwiddie and, upgrading with Kyrie, kind of sliding into that second guard spot next to Luka. Also trading Dorian Finney-Smith, the Mavericks kind of defensive rock, the locker room rock of the team in a way. He was an undrafted guy in 2016, and he worked his way into one of the more quality role players in the NBA. Widely respected, defensive wing player that can knock down open three-pointers, can rebound a little bit, and had some toughness to him. And you think like every contender could use a player like him. And I think that's also why the deal got done, because that's a type of role player you need to surround, like a Kevin Durant, like your star. You need someone that's going to do the dirty work and hit open shots when your star gets double teamed. And Dorian Finney-Smith has proven that over the last 3 or so years, and he's on a really team-friendly contract as well. He does not make that much money compared to the production he gives you. So in addition to that, 2 second-round picks and then 1 first-round pick in 2029. The 2029 is important because that means the Mavericks can potentially trade some additional picks before then, in 2025 or 2024 or 2027, wherever they decide to do. So they did pay a pretty steep cost. They traded 2 starters for 1 starter, and this Mavericks team already has a little bit of a talent deficit in terms of depth. So they're going to need to plug in some guys and find a way to get through the rest of the season if they don't make any deals. But they still, since they only traded 1 pick and it's a few, pretty distant pick, it's 6 years away before they convey it, they still have some flexibility if they want to make some moves. So definitely wasn't cheap, but I think the Mavericks found it was the right move for them. Talking with Josh Bowe. You can follow him on Twitter at Bowman55, host of the Mavs Moneyball podcast. So this whole situation with Kyrie Irving, it's taken so many different twists and turns, especially ever since he left out of Cleveland. Goes off to Boston, wants to be the guy because he was tired of living under LeBron's shadow, then goes over to the Nets, has to deal. Seems like he's been wrestling with a lot of different things of dealing with having a need that he hates. I feel like he's had to realize he is that second fiddle piece, which isn't a bad thing to say, but the NBA is full of role players. Do you feel like him coming in with Luka, is he okay, you think, to be that second piece? Because he's going to have to be. Man, trying to get inside Kyrie's head feels like an impossible task to try to figure out what that guy's thinking. You are right. He has played with LeBron, and you think, okay, well, that's why it can work. And it's like, well, wait a minute, he left LeBron. Like he wanted to get out of there. So, what does he really want? I think right now in the short term, I think he wants that next big contract. He will be a free agent this summer. He's going to be 31, I believe, by the end of the season. So you think about his injury history and his age. This is probably going to be his last opportunity to get another big, multi-year contract. He wants that 4-year max deal. So I think, you think about what he's done the last 20 or so games. He's kind of been on good behavior for the most part, and he's played. Like, he's been on the floor. He hasn't missed a lot of games due to injury. The most games he's missed has been because of the suspension for the remarks he made and the rhetoric he shared. So he's actually in the middle of one of his best seasons in years. So I have a feeling that he's going to want to keep that going because he's going to want to secure that big long-term contract. And the only way he can do that is if he finishes the season strong. So I have to imagine that's where his head's at. But man, once you put ink to paper on that multi-year contract, who knows what's going to happen? He could decide a month after signing it that he wants to retire. He could decide he wants to be on another team. He could decide a bunch of things because we've seen he's one of the most erratic personalities in the NBA. So future, I don't know what he wants, but I think for the next couple of months, I think he's going to want to stay on the court, play well, and secure one more big contract.
All right. And with this team built up, it's kind of a two-part question I have here, and it'll be your last one here, Josh, and I appreciate coming on. But this team, like you were kind of talking about earlier, trading that 2029 first-round pick, so they could still move some other picks here. February 9th, obviously, the trade deadline. Do you see this team moving any more pieces to try to bring in for a push? And if not, do you think the team as it is, could they compete with a team out of the East to actually win a finals or let alone just get to the finals through the West right now?
Yeah, so I think they're still working the phones. I think now that they've made this move, they've kind of pushed their chips all in. Before they made this move, the vibe was that they were going to be a little bit patient and wait for that big move. Well, they made the big move. So now there's, what are they waiting for? Kyrie's going to turn 31 soon. You've got Luka playing like an MVP. Why not go all in as you can? So, they've got 2 bad contracts in Tim Hardaway Jr. and Davis Bertans. I'm going to think they're going to try to find a way to see if they can shed those contracts. You've got Christian Wood on an expiring contract who's been pretty good for them, but, he's kind of got his issues as well. Mavericks trying to offer him a shorter extension. He wants a bigger deal. They might try to move him so that they don't lose him in the summer for nothing if he decides he wants to go to another team for a bigger contract that the Mavericks might be comfortable in offering. They might look around and try to see what they can find to replace the defense of Dorian Finney-Smith. There's been rumors the Utah Jazz are offering Jared Vanderbilt or trying to trade him, who's a really intriguing young defensive forward who I think would slide right into the hole the Mavericks have at the wing. And maybe the Mavericks can work something there. There are actually some rumors in here say that the Mavericks were going to trade Dorian Finney-Smith to the Jazz for a pick and Jared Vanderbilt. So might be something there. In terms of other names, I'm not too sure, but I think they're definitely going to try to make another move because I think they understand the opportunity they have, and they don't have the guarantee that Kyrie's going to be here after the season ends. So if he's going to be a rental, you gotta do what you can to make this season the best it can be. In terms of can they, even if they stand pat? I don't know if they can win a title. I feel like those Eastern Conference teams are really good at the top, the Celtics and the Bucks. In terms of getting to the finals, oddly enough, despite the fact that the Mavericks are only 2 games over 500 and they're in 6th, I'm not too scared of the Western Conference if I'm a Mavericks fan. Memphis is the 2 seed, Denver's the 1 seed. Luka, I looked this up. Luka has an 8-3 record in his career against the Memphis Grizzlies. He's 8-6 in his career against the Nuggets. So the Mavericks have actually played those teams pretty well, despite their roster limitations over the last couple of years. So Luka's so good. He's going to be, outside of maybe playing against Nikola Jokic, Denver, he's going to be the best player on the floor in whatever playoff series he's in. So that always means you have a chance. So I wouldn't say it's likely, but with Luka Doncic, I wouldn't put anything past him.
Well, when we get to that point, Josh, we're going to get you back in here, especially for the playoffs, talking more Mavs. Editor, writer for Mavs Moneyball with SB Nation, also host of the Mavs Moneyball podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Bowman55. Josh Bowe, thank you so much, buddy, for jumping on.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. You'll have a good one.
Absolutely. Good stuff there from Josh. Yeah, Mavs, it's big business. It is. You don't get to – it's got to be fun, too. if you're Josh or another writer in that area, getting that big name. I mean, it's like the same kind of feeling.
It's like if Aaron Rodgers happened to Tennessee.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When the Tom Brady rumor back before he ends up going to Tampa Bay was happening, it kind of had that energy, and you're just like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? So I imagine now Kyrie actually being there, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Makes the job fun to be around as well. Once again, go follow Josh on Twitter at Bowman55. We got to hit a break. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. It's busy, but it's moving better than it was 10-15 minutes ago with that heavy traffic flow on 24 East through Laverne, Smyrna, continuing out through Rutherford County. Lots of radar on 840 in parts of Rutherford over into Wilson County. Still moving out in Dixon County. We haven't talked a lot about it today. Just watch for some radar. I-40 again around 840. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. Give them a call right now at 615-912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, you know it's a leap year, right?
No, the next leap year isn't until 2024.
Nope, it's this year. I can prove it. Here, play this new instant game from the Tennessee Lottery.
Okay. Woohoo! I won!
See what you did there?
I jumped up and down?
No, that was a leap.
Don't miss your chance to jump for joy this February with our newest instant games. You could win up to $5 million. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
And now, some big news from WINN. The new February instant games from the Tennessee Lottery have arrived. Now, for some bigger news, there are 4 new exciting games to choose from. And now, for our biggest news yet, you could win a top prize of $5 million.
Make a break for fun today with February instant games, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Bundling car and renter's insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? Look for the signs. Chances are they live in a home and have a car. They use money and enjoy having more of it. They probably drink lots of lemonade. Lemonade. And they've probably said something suspicious like, "I'm bundling with Geico," or "Stop spying on me with those binoculars." If so, you may want to ask them how easy it was to bundle with Geico. Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
As a professional realtor in Nashville for more than 40 years, Richard Courtney is one of the city's top-ranked real estate brokers. He's also the author of 2 books and the real estate columnist for the Nashville Ledger. What does all of this mean to you as a home buyer or seller? Expert knowledge, guidance, and trust. Give Richard Courtney a call today at 615-300-8189. That's 615-300-8189. Or online at richardcourtney.com.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Sky Scan forecast for this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 62. Cloudy skies tonight, an overnight low of 45 with a southeast wind at 25 miles per hour, utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network.
I get a lot of vacation. I understand that. However, I don't take a lot of sick days. These things are not one and the same. That was not like I worked 8 straight days or I worked Super Bowl Sunday. I think I'll give myself a day off. I earned it. Hey, and by the way, I could, because I have those days. I pride myself in not taking sick days. I hate that. We usually grind through it. But honestly, it was the right thing. In that case, it was the right thing.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville's Sports Radio.
The show that makes you thankful for Braves games. The Afternoon Stretch with Zach and Bruno. And Ray.
The afternoon stretch. Bruno Reagan, Devlin McKenzie, Zach Williams. Just talked with Josh Bowe of Mavs Moneyball. Covers all things Mavs. Big news, obviously, Kyrie Irving. It's all official now. Officially a Dallas Maverick.
Broken on the afternoon stretch.
Broke it right here. You can check out that if you did not get to catch it, WNSR.com. Click the Afternoon Stretch tab, and Devlin McKenzie will have it right up there ready for you. I believe it's ready now. No, not quite. It's going to be ready soon, though, so don't worry. Devlin gave me. I look for a thumbs up, or I'll look for a head shake. That's the two signs I get from Devlin back there. They are not up yet, but will be. Don't worry. Good stuff though from Josh Bowe.
Got a big week. Got a big week in sports. Super Bowl week.
It is, man. Gatorade. Right now, everybody's talking about the national anthem. That's the hot topic bet. Will the national anthem? It's 2 minutes 5 seconds. Will it go over with Chris Stapleton?
It's hit the which one is it? The over or the under every single year? And last year was the first time it went under.
It went under 2 times in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So hey,
that's degeneracy even I won't go to. That's saying.
But I love the over with Chris Stapleton. He holds on to lyrics. You know what I mean? You listen to Tennessee Whiskey, his rendition of that song. It takes a while. Tennessee Whiskey. You know what I mean? He holds it out there a while. So that one, I kind of like that one. I'm not going to lie. Color of Gatorade. I'm seeing the conspiracy theories of Color of Gatorade right now too, because it's been blue for this many years or something like that. I don't know if I believe that kind of stuff. I don't even know if I see them on the FanDuel app and stuff. I don't even know if you really – it's hard to find those. Some have them as just fun little things. Isn't Gronk kicking some field goal too? That's going on. He's going to during the game. He's going to kick a field goal on the field.
That's the first I've heard of that.
You haven't heard of that?
No.
Yeah.
Is The Rock going to be out there again? What are we doing?
Yeah, Rock's just flexing. Rips off a shirt, says XFL on it.
Yeah, he owns a football league. Another thing that's going under the radar this weekend is Volk and Makachev. They're fighting.
Yeah. First off, the fight card that happened this last weekend ended at 3 a.m. That is why.
And the main event that everyone stayed up to watch ended in the first round with Derek Lewis getting taken out about 5 times and then a head arm triangle, which is just boring.
Did you see Dana White got into a bunch of heat though? Because he tweeted it out wrong. He put out the times and said that it was 10 Eastern is when the fight card was going to start, and everybody was like, "No, 10 Pacific. You're way off." Which he was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even he was happened. I don't know. It's a nightmare.
They're running that company by the skin of their teeth. It feels like.
Just as long as they provide the fights, ESPN will have it on their content. So it's just content. That's all it is. But yeah, Volk and
Makachev.
Makachev's just going to clean him up, by the way.
I think so. Yeah, Volk's probably a little too small, so we'll see. And Makachev was like,
you can't kick your way out of this one, Volk.
Makachev's like, I feel like the UFC could have done more to promote this fight. It's like, this is your job, bro.
Hey, I'll say this. They could have. They've done nothing. I didn't even realize it was this weekend.
Yeah, true. Whatever.
Super Bowl weekend, you're going to put a pay-per-view on Saturday?
One of their biggest fights, the number one. This is the number 1 and number 2 pound for pound UFC fighter fighting each other. One's moving up a weight class to essentially put his name in the hat for greatest of all time. So
and
it's going to do 200K buys.
Yeah, it's going to do nothing. It's going to do absolutely nothing. 615-844-5600 if you want to get in. Final moments of the show today. We're done for the day after this one. It is a great time, though, February 6th, to look back what happened today in sports history.
Today in sports history.
February 6th. What do you think the majority of things we're going to see on this is? Both of y'all, if y'all want to talk or not.
It's all Pro Bowl stuff, right?
Yeah. It's all NFL for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of NFL. Super Bowl used to be in this time, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because the Pro Bowl used to be after the Super Bowl.
You're right. So this was Super Bowl week.
Added another team to the playoffs.
Right. 1926 is the very beginning of the list, so sports didn't happen on this day before that time frame. NFL rules college students ineligible until college classes graduates.
Wait, what?
That was the sentence that was on here. Yeah. I read that verbatim. I want everyone to understand.
Say it again.
NFL rules college students ineligible until college classes graduates. Who wrote this? This is on the same place I go to every time. I think what they're trying to say is in 26, the NFL ruled that college students could not go into the league until they graduated.
Okay.
That's what I think they're trying to say on that one, which is no longer the case anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, you can definitely get in before you graduate. Let's see here. Don't want to talk about cricket. I mean, there's always one. Here's 1932, first Olympic dog sled race at Lake Placid, New York.
That's not in the Olympics anymore, I guess. They took that out.
Remember the Iditarod? I mean, it's still going, I guess, but the Iditarod was like such a big thing when I was in elementary school. It was just like you thought that was the main sporting. I literally thought from in like 4th grade that the Iditarod was the Super Bowl.
You thought it was going to be like a big focal point of your life.
Quicksand, right?
Yeah.
Quicksand. You thought as a kid, quicksand's everywhere. I thought we were going to be in quicksand all the time. There's not been one time in my life I've been near quicksand. Iditarod. I thought that was the Super Bowl.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know it's the big dog sledding race out in Alaska.
Never seen it. Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Clarksville Elementary School has failed you.
East Montgomery. Yeah.
East Montgomery. Yeah. That's happening. You know what the Iditarod is, right, Devlin?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, Ohio. 1958. Baseball Hall of Famer Ted Williams, no relation, becomes the highest paid player in MLB.
Oh, thanks for reminding. I had no idea.
When he re-signs with the Boston Red Sox for how much to become the highest paid player in baseball?
What year?
1958.
Oh, $200,000.
Devlin?
I'm going to shoot above and ruin it.
$10 million, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to say?
I don't know. $300,000?
$135,000. Which in 58 was probably
a
lot of money, but yeah. $135,000. Baseball has taken a ginormous leap.
Well, so has every expense in the modern world. Every commodity.
1971. Not really a sports stat here, but whatever. 1971. American astronaut Alan Shepard is the first to hit this on the moon. What is it?
Golf ball?
Bing, bing, bing. Good job, Devlin. Hit the first one to hit a golf ball in space. I wonder if that ever came down.
I'd be the first one to hit a reverse go-go plata.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if anybody took yogurt up to the whatever that was you said. Let's see here. What else we got? NFL Pro Bowl 1983, Aloha Stadium. NFC beats AFC 20-19. The MVPs were Dan Fouts and John Jefferson. That was probably when they actually played.
The last time they cared.
That had to
It's
have
just
been the
weird.
last time.
I want to know when the shift was where everyone was like, we don't care anymore.
When the money started going up. That had to have been it.
What do you mean going up?
When they started making just buku bucks, they were like, I'm not making money for this. I'm putting myself at risk.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you had the Sean Taylors of the world who would just clean a punter's clock. You know, that kind of stuff doesn't exist anymore. 1995, MLB outfielder Darryl Strawberry suspended from baseball for 60 days for positive cocaine test.
Word? Just partying.
That's your kind of baseball player right there.
Yes, sir.
That's your
Got a little edge to him.
A little edge. A little mean streak, if you will. 2011. Who won the Super Bowl in 2011? Now, is this this is in the year
Patriots.
2011. So remember that. So it's 2010 season.
Steelers?
They played in it. Did not win.
Cardinals?
Patriots. Just all wrong. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I had no idea, but Patriots won like half of them, so I was like, this is a good guess.
31-25. They played down in Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. That is how that happened. And then the final Pro Bowl to ever be played the way that the Pro Bowl has been played forever, I believe happened today. 2022, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. AFC beats the NFC 41-35. Justin Herbert is the MVP alongside Mad Max Crosby with the Las Vegas Raiders. And that is what happened today in sports history.
Wow.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. I mean, did I skip some things? Absolutely. Did I skip Brazilian jockey Jorge Ricardo equals world record number of victories for a jockey? 12,844. That's a lot of wins to have in anything. Mm-hmm. And how much horse racing have y'all ever watched?
I already told you this story, but when we were at Tampa for the USFL last year, Todd made us watch a horse racing documentary.
Oh, was it on
War Machine? Or what was it?
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh, you said War Machine, and now I'm thinking.
Now
I'm thinking
MMA fighter
Avengers.
that-
No, I'm thinking Avengers. I'm not even thinking.
What was that horse's name?
Oh my gosh,
sweep the
I can't
nation
get
now.
off. I can't get off the show until we figure that out. I can't believe I'm forgetting. I know this too, which is so Warhorse, right? It's just Warhorse is the movie. Yeah.
Is it Seabiscuit?
Well, Seabiscuit is one of them, but there's a movie that's called Warhorse.
I think Seabiscuit was the one we were talking
It might, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Warhorse is. You're thinking of Warhorse the movie.
Okay.
But you're thinking of Seabiscuit.
Yeah, that was like one of the most famous stories, the underdog horse. It's crazy. I'm not throwing Todd under the bus, but he was like tearing up when we were watching the movie all together. I was like, this is a fever dream what we're doing right now.
USFL, baby. No Jeff Fisher this year though. No Jeff Fisher. Called it quits.
Back to Montana. Just shoot down the Chinese balloons before they cross the border. Thank you, Jeff.
I saw a photo of him, man. He is older looking now.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, I guess. I still
you're
just
gonna,
picture
hey,
him.
you're gonna get real old one day too.
No.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Never know.
Never know. All right, we're done. Remember, nobody's told you I love you and you matter. Have a great night. We'll see you next time here on Nashville Sports Radio.